Guys, this is Ryan with thegamesblog.com, and I will be reviewing the multiplayer aspect of GoldenEye 007 for the Wii. So let's get started. So I had a lot of fun with this game, and it was actually pretty exciting to get. I remember when I first heard about it, I pretty much ran out and got a pre-ordered it. I didn't get the collector's edition. I just got the normal game, and I was like, wow, you know, GoldenEye is going to be reinvented for the Nintendo Wii. Control scheme will be good, you know, etc. So there's a lot of good things I have about this game, and there's also a lot of bad things that I have about this game. But first, let's just go over the good aspects of the game. One of the good aspects that I have about the game is that the control scheme is actually very good. It felt very natural jumping into a game that I really hadn't touched since the N64 days. It has 3 ways of controlling the game. You can use a classic controller, which is basically Nintendo's updated version of a GameCube controller. You can use the GameCube controller. You can use the Wii Remote sideways, I believe. I haven't actually tested this, but I've heard that it is possible. And you can use the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Now, you can use any of these schemes, and I started off using the GameCube controller, to be honest. But the thing that's kind of not fair, in my opinion, about these control schemes is that the Nunchuck and Wii Remote are obviously the preferred method of playing. For what I mean is that you can be stuck to a corner, or you can be hiding behind a corner in multiplayer, and you can actually tilt your Nunchuck and Wii Remote and kind of peek around the corner and shoot someone. So many times that this has happened, and I've gotten lost. I've lost from that. So you can obviously tell what the favorite controller is. But besides that, the controller is very fluent. It's very responsive, and that's what I really like about it. The second thing that I also liked about the game was that the guns were very balanced and very well, meaning that there wasn't really any slight differences between guns. There wasn't one gun that was able to overpower everyone else and someone could just run around and start shooting people like that. So I actually really like the guns. They have a very large variety of them, and all in all, they're pretty fun. The third thing I liked was that there are loadouts. Now, the loadouts are different depending on what you play. If you play offline or online. When you're playing offline, you have certain loadouts like you would in any other, like think of it as Call of Duty, but think of it just with the guns. You can't customize your own classes on offline mode. So you'll get certain loadouts which have certain grenades, a primary and a secondary. There is no equipment in this game, but the loadouts are very easy. They're very fun to use. They show you an image of the guns that you're going to have, the title of that loadout, etc. Now, when you jump on online, you do have the option of making custom classes, and those are pretty easy to make. As always, just choose the gun you want, just choose the secondary you want. There are some type of perks, but they are unlocked at levels as you level up through the online multiplayer. But overall, the whole gun system, the whole gun balance was pretty good for the game. So unfortunately, it has come down to it. It is now time to decipher the bad about this game. And unfortunately, the bad does outweigh the good in some parts. Going back to multiplayer online, which is primarily where the bad is, you basically, if you guys haven't already known, which a lot of people have known, it is basically made by Activision, and it does run on the Call of Duty engine. There are no Call of Duty points like in Call of Duty Black Ops because this game came out pre-Black Ops. The problem is that I jump into lobbies a lot of the time where I'm level 10, 11, and you get a lot of guys that are 30, 40 running around with a lot more powerful guns. There are no challenges to complete, so really the only way to level up is by killing people. So it was actually really hard to end up killing people. You do have the loadouts, but they're all of the same basic guns. So any advanced guns are not in it, unlike offline mode where pretty much everything is unlocked from the start. So that was kind of disappointing. It's actually very frustrating trying to level up when there's just some guy just running around just rocketing everyone, or using a stronger version of an assault rifle. And there's no real way to do it but just grinding and grinding. Same thing to do with the perks, etc. So you get 5 experience points for a kill. You get 10 experience for meleeing someone, and that's really all you know. You don't get a summary after the game is over. You don't get anything like that, so it's actually very confusing to figure out how close I am to leveling or when I'm going to level up. When you do level up, it tells you that you've unlocked certain things and that you can finally use them. Also, which actually takes a very, very long time to do, in my opinion. Now, besides that whole issue, I just have to talk about just the network itself and the connectivity. I have the best plan of internet that I can buy over here in Southern California. And, I mean, I pay a lot for it, but still, as people have said, Wi-Fi or wireless internet is not a good staple for online gaming. It seems like my Nintendo Wii was constantly lagging, or network connections were being messed up from the host, etc. Also, if too many things were happening on the screen, too many explosions, too many gunfights happening with 3 or 4 people on the screen at once, the frame rate on offline and online both stuttered amazingly a lot, to the point where I'm still walking, I hear my guy die, and 3 or 4 seconds later, I'm dead. I'm already dead, and I've respawned somewhere else, but on my screen it's still showing me in that gunfight. That's how bad the stuttering was for me, and that was really disappointing and actually really frustrating. Now, the worst thing that I found in this game, and unfortunately, I hate to bash this game, but I have to be truthful with it, was it has a host migration problem. Now, as of today, because I checked and there still is no update for this game from what I could tell, I've had a huge amount of problems with the host. Now, what I mean by that is the host will end up leaving the game, maybe during the game or after the game, and my console will lock up. It's ridiculous. My console locks up every single time that this happens. Either the host will try to migrate and my console will lock up, or the host will leave and my console will lock up. And what I mean by locking up is, I try to turn off my Nintendo Wii's power by pressing the power button, nothing happens. I try to eject the disc, nothing happens. I found, and a lot of other people have said this too, the only way that you can reset your Nintendo Wii is by unplugging the Nintendo Wii from its power supply, which you are not supposed to do. They tell you not to do that because it can corrupt data. And maybe within an hour or 2 hours of gameplay one night I was playing, yes, I had to unplug my console 5 times. And guess what? After the 5th time, I started up my console and it said, "I am sorry, your data is corrupted." So I literally lost all that time that I was playing online and had to start over from level 1 because it saves your data on the Nintendo Wii's hard drive. It's just horrible. I don't understand why Nintendo can't do anything about it. I don't understand why the company didn't figure this out through testing, but it really frustrates me. And literally within a 1 or 2 hour gameplay, like I said, I was 5 times I had to unplug my console. And unfortunately, the game has been out for a little bit, as you guys know, and still there has been no updates or no patches. That is basically the main issue. The other issue is really there is no voice chatting, and I wouldn't mind it, and I wouldn't even mention it as a con, but in a first-person multiplayer game, you really do need some sort of voice chat built in. Now, I know you can Skype, etc. like that, and people will say that and defend Nintendo till it dies, but to be honest with you, if you're going to be playing with a bunch of random people, you really do need some form of communication. I know that if I'm on another system or if I'm playing another game on one of my other systems, I'm always at least saying one-worded things like, "Oh, I'm over here, he's over here." Still, that really does help out your team. So that was also disappointing that voice chat was not included, as in Call of Duty Black Ops, voice chat is included. Unfortunately, I can't really recommend this game to anyone. I really liked the multiplayer in general. I really enjoyed it. I think that if you really like GoldenEye 007, this is a really good staple game, and for $50 it would be a really good game, and that a lot of people would really like it. I thought it was up to this game. I thought it was probably the best first-person shooter, but once the online stuff started happening and the crashes started happening and the freezing and the locking up in my console happening, it is just not worth it to buy this game. I'm definitely telling you guys, hold off on this game until for sure patches are made on this game. Just keep waiting around on forums, and if not, then you can always go buy Call of Duty Black Ops. So unfortunately, I would say just definitely not buy this game. Just avoid it at all costs. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video review. I hope that I was able to get my point across and show you guys a few things about GoldenEye 007. I'm Ryan with thegamesblog.com, and I will see you in the next video. See you guys later.